My name is Thomas Carbone, and I lived in Hoboken until I got married. And I left from Hoboken to go to service when I was 18 or 19 years old. And from Hoboken, I went to Camp Kilmer. I was drafted. The difference between a draftee and a guy that signs up, you know, one is a U.S. number, which I got, and it's a number you never forget, 51 13 39 93. And the other one is an RA. When you hear a guy is RA, that means he joined the Army. The U.S., he got drafted. When I left Union City, New Jersey, I went to Camp Kilmer. From Camp Kilmer, I went to Camp Chaffee, the hellhole of Camp Chaffee, Arkansas, where Clinton was. It's a hellhole. The town is mostly all camp. The town itself is about 3 blocks long. After that, I stood there 16 weeks. I went home for about a month, and they shipped me to Korea. From Korea, I landed in Busan, and from Busan, they sent me, trucks came to pick me up. I wound up on Heartbreak Ridge, and I wind up staying in Heartbreak Ridge for about 10 months. And Heartbreak Ridge is in North. The reason why it was such a battle was because it's in North Korea. We had a piece of their territory, and they didn't want, you know, they fought like hell to keep up with that piece, that territory that we took. The line was crooked. It went from south. When it got to Heartbreak Ridge, it was in the north. When you got into Heartbreak Ridge, there was always, during the day, there was always mortars coming in. At night, when you went to sleep, you had to have a guard duty, guards at night. If they snuck through the line and you were sleeping in there, they throw a grenade in there, you get killed. The reason why you slept in the bunker, because when a mortar came in, if it hit the bunker, 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't go through, because we cut trees down. That's what that is. You cut trees down, you make a box, and you load it up with sandbags, you follow? And that's where you lived. And the reason why you lived like that was because of the mortars during the day. Now, after I was there maybe 9 months, they sent me to Pork Chop Hill, which was another bad battle. I got there at the beginning of Pork Chop Hill. But after about 2 months, I rotated out of Pork Chop Hill. Now, I was only supposed to stay in Korea 9 months. I wound up putting 13 months in because they said they couldn't get no replacements. So they moved us. In other words, when we moved from North Korea, Heartbreak Ridge, that's when it all calmed down. You know, we had it down to almost nothing. Okay. Korea, in the winter, it could go as far as 40 below zero. That's cold. When it snows, it might snow for a couple of days. Now, you got equipment, right? You're pulling equipment. All that equipment has got to start. It's got to move. That's what I was in charge of. I was in charge of all the equipment because I was a mechanic. You follow me? And I used to have to make sure if we had to leave right away, in other words, say we got overrun by the enemy, we had to pull all that equipment to get out of there fast. That all had to be running every day. And in the cold weather, you would never start all the vehicles in that circumstance. We had a little machine. In other words, it had 6 volts, 12 volts, 24 volts. So say you had a 6-volt Jeep, it wouldn't start, you hit it with a 12 volt, and the thing would go fast. The tractors that you pulled the guns, they were all 12 volt. they wouldn't start. You hit it with a 24 volt. Now, during the winter, it's very, very, very cold. If you notice, we got special boots on, special shoes, and you had to change them like twice a day. Now, in the summer, they got a monsoon season. When it rains, it could rain for 10 days in a row. I mean, rain. And then after the rain, they got when it gets hot maybe 100 degrees, 110. You follow me? Right. And being in the jungle like that, you can't take a bath. Never took, well, maybe took a bath. If we seen a creek, we were told, we were learned in the Army, that when you see a creek and the water is moving, you could go in there and, wash your clothes and maybe take a sponge bath. Being in Heartbreak Ridge, being so close to the enemy, we always had to live in a fog. We had the drums of chemical that we used to hook up a little machine, and it used to make a sissing noise. That's why I'm complaining about my ears. It used to make and it used to throw out smoke. And when you're in a valley, the whole valley, you could hardly see. When I got there first, I couldn't catch my breath. I was telling them, I can't breathe. You'll get used to it. And we got used to it. I lived like that for 9 months. Well, Heartbreak Ridge was one of the worst battles in Korea. You had the North Koreans come over. They only had a ridge. You see that ridge? There was Koreans over. The 96th Field Battalion was a bastard outfit. A bastard outfit means that we weren't connected like to the 25th Division. Each division's got infantry and they got artillery, okay? A bastard outfit is not, you're not connected to nobody. When in Heartbreak Ridge, it fought with the Turks fought with the British, fought with the Canadians. I don't even remember how many we fought. Oh, the Koreans themselves, they had their own army. Every time they decided to change, they always left the 96th Field Battalion there. It was a 155 outfit, but it was online. In other words, when they fired that gun went 12 miles into North Korea. We were in North Korea, but it went 12 miles further. And that's every day, they were mortaring us. At night, they'd come in and shoot guys up. We had helicopters coming in. They used to only take 2 guys. They could take 1 on each side. And guys getting blown up. Terrible, terrible, terrible. This is when they had them USO shows. Mickey Rooney came with a couple of people. He's a nice guy, but look how young he was. They put you on a truck, and if you might be off for a couple hours. They'll put you on a truck. They say Mickey Rooney is he'd come in maybe about 10 miles behind the lines. This is a Korean kid who used to take care of the captain. He used to take care of his quarter, like a sweep up and make his bed and all that. That's who that was. They adopted this kid for the company, understand? This kid almost got killed. He was on a truck. Every place we went, they'd put this kid on with us, and the truck turned over. I was in Korea 13 months. I was only supposed to serve 9 months, but I served 9 months in Heartbreak Ridge, and I served about 2 months in Pork Chop Hill. A veteran, I tip my hat. You got to tip your hat to a veteran, especially if he gets hurt. You know what I mean? There's too much. For me, there's too much love for that guy. I love that guy so much. You know what I mean? Now, I want to tell you another thing. When I fought in Heartbreak Ridge, I fought with all black guys. All black. There was only about maybe 10 of us when we first got there. But you know what? Blood is red. And whether you're black, white, green, orange, you always look out for one another. I could remember when we were first getting mortared, and I just got there. They pulled me by the collar and pulled me in the bunker. They said, Carbone, these guys are going to be mortared like this for. The only good thing about when you get mortared, if you don't get hurt, you don't do no work. You lay in a bunker, you go to sleep. But if they overrun you, now you got another problem. You know what I mean? But if they don't overrun you and you get mortared, you stay in the bunker.